So if you look at what happens during fasting, what happens, because everybody worries about this, right? Oh, what about protein? You're burning your muscle, right? For the first couple of days of fasting, what you see is that carbohydrate oxidation goes up. It goes way up, right? In other words, you're burning sugar. You can see that fat doesn't actually move for a couple of days. You're not burning a hell of a lot of fat, right? And then, as you run out of the glycogen, remember that the glycogen is your easily accessed energy, but limited in terms of how much you can store. Once it all burns out, then look, fat oxidation goes up. Now you're burning fat for energy. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want to do. But what happened to protein? Are you burning muscle? Hell no. It goes up slightly, okay, at the very beginning, then drops. So, protein is not a storage form of energy. Why would your body burn it for energy, right? You hear this argument all the time. You're going to burn muscle, right? So it's ridiculous, right? Because you're telling me that the way we're designed is to store energy as fat, but when the chips are down, we'll burn muscle, right? Okay, like, I don't think so, right? It's like if you have a wood-burning stove, you store firewood, right? Because you're going to burn it. But when the chips are down, you don't go chop up your sofa and throw it into the fire, right? It's crazy. The other thing that's ridiculous is that if you have repeated fast famine cycles, like cavemen might have had, for instance, so you store fat, burn muscle, right? So at the end of a few of these cycles, you're like one giant ball of 100% fat, right? It's like that's what happens to the bears, right? It's like, come on. Don't be ridiculous. You don't burn muscle. Protein, yes, you do need a certain amount of protein to maintain your lean protein, right? But it's not increased. That's my point. It's not that it's zero. There is some, right? But it's not increased in response to fasting. So the reason that I talk about fasting and low carbohydrate diets is that what it does very effectively, and probably more effectively than any other intervention, is it empties out that fridge, right? And remember, what you want to do is get rid of all that insulin too, right? Because now, if you don't have insulin telling your body to shunt all that energy into fat, now you can start to move your calories out this way, right? If you have a lot of insulin, so we do this, for example, if we give people exogenous insulin, they can't lose weight, right? Even if they fast, it's very hard because they can't access that fat. They just keep reducing their calorie expenditure. But the whole point is that fasting provides the easiest way. You get rid of all that glycogen, you get your insulin down so you can actually access your body fat, and there. But what happens during fasting? Does it happen? Well, here's a study of 4 consecutive days of fasting, right? So this is in normal people, right? And what you see is that at the top, the weight goes down, right? So that's great. That's exactly what we expect to see. But what happens to your REE? This is this middle line here. That's the resting energy expenditure, right? That's your basal metabolism. It doesn't go down. It goes up, right? You're burning more energy than you did. Now, you might think, why is that so? Well, it makes a lot of sense because suppose, again, you're a caveman and there's nothing to eat. It's winter. There's nothing to eat, right? So if your body starts shutting down, then you're even less likely to find something to eat because you're tired. You can't go out there and hunt a woolly mammoth. You're tired, right? You need to sleep. So you're all gonna die like that, right? So your body is just not that stupid, right? Your body says, wow, you have nothing to eat. So I'm gonna give you energy. I'm gonna increase the amount of energy you're burning. And I'm gonna provide it from your fat stores because you need to go out and eat and fill up this refrigerator again, right? So that's exactly what you do. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here, right? It'd be like cockroaches and insects running the world. So what happens to your VO2, right? That's how much oxygen you can metabolize, right? Does it slow down? No. It goes up, right? Again, you have more capacity to do exercise, more energy. And why is that so? One, you're burning fat for energy.